The grand life of the British monarchy, a spectacle of jewels, crowns and ceremonies, but beneath the gold and splendor lies a dark story, one of conquest, colonization, and countless lives lost in the name of empire. This is not just the story of Queen Elizabeth, the longest reigning monarch. It's the story of those who never got to tell theirs. For some, the crown is a symbol of unity and continuation. For others, it's a relic of pain, a reminder of the nations that fell for the throne to stand. Queen Elizabeth ascended the throne in 1952, a young woman crowned in Westminster Abbey, seen by millions as a beacon of hope after the war. But as the British flag flew over lands far from home, the truth of the empire was felt in the wounds of its colonies, and this is not a false story or a false accusation. This is actually a fact. From India to Kenya, from Nigeria to Malaya, the empire left scars that still ache today. For centuries, British power meant resources extracted, culture suppressed, and voices silenced. I know that some of you may not agree with me, but before I get started into the video, this is not a false accusation. And also tell me as well what you think. Do you think that the crown that she inherited was actually far from what we actually see? Please state that in the comment section. I'd really appreciate that. In Kenya, during the 1950s, thousands of Kenyans were detained, tortured and killed during the Mau Mau uprising, a revolt against British rule that saw atrocities committed in the name of keeping the empire strong. In India, the echoes of partition in 1947 still resonate. Millions displaced, families torn apart, and bloodshed that did not end with independence. There was a lot that actually happened during the reign of Queen Elizabeth and during the monarchy and during everything that was happening, and a lot of people don't look at the side of where people's families, people's livelihoods, people had to watch their kids taken away. Especially in Kenya, there was a system where children were now becoming part of the war because the ruling was just hard for the people in the colony countries. India as well had a lot of suffering and a lot of war that actually happened during all of this shenanigans that were basically created. There was a lot of bloodshed. A lot of people were actually detained. A lot of people were actually murdered. And I'm not trying to create this video to paint the picture of the queen being a bad person. I feel like the crown that she inherited was a tragedy because she is now the most misunderstood person in the world. She is loved by other people and she's also despised by some people. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the crown that she inherited, I'm gonna say this throughout the video, was actually a heavy burden? I feel that the crown was a heavy burden because she inherited it from her father and she had to carry on the legacy. She had to carry on with the system that was already created, a system that did not start with her. It was a continuation of a legacy to conquer, to divide, and to rule. Queen Elizabeth was seen as a unifying figure, yet she inherited a system built on exploitation. While she was not personally responsible for this act, her reign continued to symbolize that power, even as colonies fought for their freedom. These people, I kid you not, fought for their freedoms. If you can just go back in history and just check the Mau Mau uprising in Kenya in 1950s, these people actually fought. These people needed their freedom. There was a lot of exploitation, a lot of war that was happening, and The empire, we do know it for its glamorous state, but the people that suffered for that glamorous state to come about was a lot. It was a crucial sacrifice, a crucial burden, not only for the people but also for her. How did she feel? What kind of life was she living, far from what we see? I mean, a lot of people can say that she was living a good life, but what were the thoughts that ran across her mind every night she had to say something or lay out an order? This was a legacy that started a long time ago. This is the tragedy. This is the story of a woman who still had to go out and still had to go and carry on what was built. Elizabeth's life was not without its own weight. She inherited a legacy she did not create, as I've been saying, a throne that demanded silence over speaking out. A young queen in a man's world expected to smile and wave while the empire crumbled in slow motion. Under the empire's shadow, nations bled. In Nigeria, the British backed Biafran War, which brought famine and death. In Malay, the emergency left thousands dead in a bid to keep control. In South Africa, the empire's legacy was one of segregation and division, systems of power that shaped apartheid's cruel reign. The empire took land and lives and left behind wounds that still have not fully healed. The monarchy was the face of that power, and Queen Elizabeth its most enduring symbol. This woman endured. This woman had to face all nasty allegations from people. That's just what I think. I'm not here trying to make her look bad. I'm here to say that this lady was also a victim. This lady was the victim of the burden she had to inherit and to uphold. And to do that and still maintain grace in public, that's the most scariest thing ever. For some, Elizabeth's reign was a golden age. For others, it was a reminder of lives stolen and cultures erased. The crown is more than a symbol, it's a weight. A weight carried by Queen Elizabeth and the people of the empire's forgotten corners. So we look back, not just at the glamour or the pretty pictures, but at the real cost, the price of an empire built on conquest, the price paid by those who were never crowned, never heard, never mourned, and the woman who wore the crown, forever tied to the ghost of an empire she could never truly leave behind. May her soul also rest in peace as well. She was a loving queen to the people of British and to the people around her and to the British Empire, like I've already said. And she will forever be remembered. To some people for the good and to some people for the bad. Some people for the best and some people for the worst. Please tell me in the comment section what you basically think. Do you think that the crown that she inherited was a heavy burden? Do you sympathize with her, or like some other people do not sympathize with her? I feel like this woman lived a tragic life, a life of sadness and a life of hatred, loved by those around, which is usually the few, and hated the most by the world. This is not a cocoon. Life is not a bubble. This is just a historical fact. This is a fact. I just don't want to say a lot out of respect for her. May her soul rest in peace. She was a loving queen and a loving mother to everyone around her and to her nation. To some people, yes, she was despised, but I don't want to dwell more on that. I just want to dwell on the life of a tragic woman who led a tragic monarchy and carried a bloody crown. That's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please, 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 please do like this video. Please share this video. Please do tell me what you basically think. Leave comments in the comment section about what you think of the inheritance of this crown. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Bye.